Yes, everyone. We're back again for another edition of the best Spurs 11 of my lifetime. We've got Corey, the footballing Nostradamus, in the house this afternoon. Corey, how are you, sir?
Bit of a banged up foot, but I'm good.
Excellent. Oh, we'll get on with it shortly, so you can sort yourself out. Mark, how are you, sir?
Yeah, all's good, mate. All's good. All's good. We're cracking through these now.
Yeah, we're getting on with them. So we'll crack on with it as Cora's a bit sore. If you can bring the old pitch up, Mark, for us.
There you go.
Excellent behaviour. So Corey's gone with a 4-2-3-1 for his formation. We'll dig straight in. Corey, can you give us your goalkeeper of your lifetime, please?
This was the one I had the trouble with the most, being a goalkeeper fan, but I've gone with Paul Robbo simply because before his time he was that keeper that was good with his foot distribution, great shot stopper, and he scored a couple of goals for us. So it's got to be Robinson. Great acquisition from Leeds United as well, so good pick up.
Yeah, was there anyone else you thought about for that position, Corey?
There was the octopus. Yeah. I mean, I was umming and erring between him and the octopus, and I was like, no, it's got to be Robbo.
Fair dues, mate. Excellent. Great start. Yeah. Paul Robinson in goal. That's brilliant. So we'll go to your defence, Corey. We'll go from left to right. We'll start off with your left back, please.
Well, for me, this is a hard one because left back, we haven't been graced with too many over the years, really, have we? But I've had to have gone with, it was Danny Rose. For all his faults, even though with his mental health issues and everything as well, apart from him, I can't really pick out anything in my 40 years as a Spurs fan picking out a quality left back apart from Rose.
I had a feeling you were going to say him.
This is going to be the most this is going to be the most basic pick for like the last 40 years.
Well, yeah, but it is what it is. You know, you are the age you are. You know, so some of us got a more wider
spectrum.
Yeah, some ain't.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, in the last, I mean, understanding football properly from a young age was a bit difficult because I was just literally dragged to Tottenham matches with my granddad, my uncle, my cousin. So for me, in defence, I've got to go with he's only got one knee, the best captain we've ever had, Ledley King.
Yep, brilliant.
The guy did not need to train; he just turned up and played.
Yep.
And now,
well, we can't give too much away, but he is a very popular choice.
Yes, he is a very popular choice. But now for the most unpopular choice, and I can take my Spurs hat off here for a second, and it's going to leave a bit of an arsey taste in some people's mouths here, but it's going to have to be Sol Campbell. I mean, I've not seen two quality centre-backs like this, King and Campbell, come out of our youth setup in decades, to be honest with you. I haven't seen it. And whenever we've acquired other decent shouts, I went over Jan Vertonghen and Alderweireld. So maybe they should be, but I had to go with two of the academy picks here.
Yeah, fair dues, mate. That's fair dues. There's been a couple of people that have picked Solus, I must admit. You know,
there's been one at least, haven't there?
Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? It is what it is, man. So, you know, if you pick someone like Sol Campbell, he was a fantastic player for Spurs. There's no doubt about it.
But to be honest, let's face it, the only reason he's hated so much is because he was so damn good.
Yeah, well,
if he was Joe Average, no one would worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Right back for me, this one I had to really think about because there was Kyle Walker, who I absolutely adore, I've already picked in this team for me. Kyle Walker, because of his pace, his versatility, he could not only just play right back, he could also cover at centre back when needed. So Kyle Walker is my right back, but then I had to think over the years. I had to think of Stephen Carr as well because he wasn't the greatest right back, but he always put his heart and soul into every match and always gave his all, Stephen Carr. But to me, modern time, it's Kyle Walker for his pace and versatility.
Yeah,
I love Stephen Carr.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
Yeah, great choice again, Corey. Brilliant. We'll move on to your two midfielders, mate, please, if that's all right.
It's going to have to be Luka Modric because he was just absolutely fantastic for us, and then went off and became Ballon d'Or winner. Still playing now at the age of 40 at Madrid, teaching the kids what it takes to make it to the top level. So he is in there, and then obviously it's Dembele.
Yeah,
I had a fear. Well, I was going
That
to say I
midfield.
knew he'd be one of them.
It's Dembele. It's Dembele and Modric all the time for me in midfield, without a shadow of a doubt.
yeah, yeah. Both superb, just wonderful players, Corey. At the end of the day, the pair of them, weren't they? You know.
And then when we lost them, so our midfield kind of slowly suffered. It's just after we lost Carrick as well.
Yeah,
Carrick was starting to show what it was to play for us, and then we lost him to United. So,
And to be honest, we still ain't replaced Musa Dembele to this day.
no,
To be
there's
honest.
never going to be another player like
Well,
him. He
no,
was
no, no, of
a
course
one of a
can't.
kind. As that kid, as kids use it now, it was generational. Even with his injuries, the guy was always willing to win the ball, take it, drive. Modric had the vision, passing. He had a vast variety of passes as well. Modric, he had the cheeky little sliders around the corner to other players, direct balls, short balls. Modric was just that. And Dembele, for me, was that perfect partner for him to be the destroyer, like the Roy Keane.
Yeah. The only thing I got to say about Dembele is just ask if you see interviews with players that was with him at the club. Just say who was the one in training, and they say Dembele couldn't get a ball off him.
The guy was like, he was like our version of Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic was, I always used to call him Gluihimovic. The ball just stuck to Ibrahimovic, didn't it? Just with Dembele, the ball just didn't leave his feet, and if he lost it, he would win it back.
Yeah,
exactly.
Great choices again, Corey.
Yeah.
We'll move on to your three attacking midfielders, I suppose. We'll go from left to right again, Corey, if that's okay, please.
Well, this one's an obvious. It's Gareth Bale. An obvious. That guy was one of the few players in my time as a youngster Tottenham fan. Bale was the guy that got my arse off out of that seat at the lane, or even at the pub down here in Brighton. I'd be like, "Come on, Bale! Yes, he's going to do something magic," and he always did. There was something always about him. He always wanted the ball, and he always wanted to put it in the net.
Yeah, brilliant. Bale was one of the iconic players.
And even people of our generation, you'll be surprised how many teams he has appeared in. Yeah. Even though we got like a lot bigger pool of players. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, an attacking midfield, this isn't a really sort of inspired choice for me, but I've gone with Teddy Sheringham.
Okay, yeah.
He wasn't the quickest forward, but he always liked to play off the back of the shoulder of another forward or midfielder.
As the number 10 then, Teddy Sheringham.
Number 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, for me, he had a vision of pass as well, which most strikers for partnerships didn't have in the Premier League back in the time. There was very few that could pass it like Sheringham. He wasn't the quickest, but his footballing IQ was above that of everybody else around in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah. Again, another player we lost to Man United.
Yeah.
First 10 yards were in his head.
Oh, yeah. He was always 10 yards ahead of the defender as well.
Yeah. He didn't need pace. The first 5-10 yards was all in his head. So clever.
Yeah.
And then on the right for me.
Choice, man. Yeah. Go on, mate. Carry
on. This one is... This guy used to infuriate me, but also used to love Aaron Lennon. The guy had pace, but his end product was toilet.
Yeah.
The guy could run, he'd get back, track back, tackle, but you'd put him on the edge of the box trying to get him to get a pass or a crossing. He'd always, 9 times out of 10, not find the ball, but then he'd come up with something magical like that equaliser against the Filth when it was 4-4. Oh, that was magical, that goal.
Yeah. Remember that
goal from Lennon. Runs it down the wing, takes past 3 players, slots it bottom corners. Just beautiful.
Great stuff. Yeah, the memories, mate. That's what it's all about. The memories. Yeah. Great stuff, mate. Yeah.
And in modern times up front, it's got to be our top goal scorer, Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And I just think
I had a feeling he was coming into it.
Of Harry Kane and Sheringham, that would be magical. Both of them aren't the quickest players, but they have vision, they have passing accuracy, they have more like I'd play Kane in this as a false 9 and have Sheringham just sit there in that midfield instead of up front of them. I'd literally play a 4-2-4 and have one of those two just running off of each other, passes for days. I mean, I love Kane. Everybody loves Kane. Sheringham, Kane, midfield. Jesus. And I've literally gone through most of the England setup there in the early noughties, you know, and the early 90s. It's literally gone English, 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 English front three, English up top, English in defence, English in goal. Like, I can't think of many others, but I mean, like on my bench, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. While I've got these other players on my bench.
Right. So, do you want to? Where are we now? We've done the team, haven't we? Sorry.
Yeah, no, team done, mate.
Yeah. I was going to say, am I missing one? Well, I'm not. Corey, are you happy with that team that you've selected there? Because once it's sort of like a disappearing thing going on here. Once you're happy, we'll get rid of it and it's locked in.
I like that team because for me growing up, I can't remember too many standout players apart from Gilliner. I was too young to see Gaza, but I saw the magic of Gaza. Gilliner, I saw bits and pieces of. He was a fantastic player, but, you know, compared that to Bale, there's something. Yeah. So I'm in an R in between Bale and Gilliner for ages.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's the final. You're happy to lock this in?
That is my final. That's my lock-in.
Right.
So, all right, so Mark,
there you go. It's gone.
So now then, Corey, we can just move on to your 5 substitutes. You can tell us who they are, a little bit about them if you want, and so on from there.
I already recently said this. Michael Carrick is on my bench as cover because he could do anything in midfield, that guy.
Yeah.
I had to put Stephen Carr on my bench because the kid was versatile. He wasn't the greatest defender, but like I said, he had heart and he always made me think he could do something.
Scored some bangers as well.
He scored some bangers, but I mean, like, gifted. He was more of a defensively minded defender that you put him anywhere around the edge of the opponent's box. Sometimes you'll score a banger, but it would sort of like fluff his lines or comically give the ball away. And yeah. So with Carrick or Carr, I've gone with Gaza because you can't have Gaza not be in this team, even though I don't remember much of him growing up. Because I was, you know, when I was starting to watch football, he was coming towards the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
I've gone with Dimitar Berbatov because that guy's absolute first touch is sickeningly unreal. There's a video There's a video of him online where they're firing balls at different speeds, and he controls a ball at 101.1 miles an hour, brings the ball out the sky first touch, and then shoots in this video. And I'm like, another player. Yes, we lost to Man United yet again.
Yeah.
And then obviously I needed cover at centre back, so I went with Jan Vertonghen. It was between Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld. I went with Vertonghen.
Yeah.
And then obviously my favourite manager of all time was Martin Jol.
I ain't got to that bit yet.
Just hang on a minute.
I didn't hear that. I've got another question.
No. We can edit that bit out.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm not sure. Corey, I'll try and edit it out.
That's all right. Don't leave it. Leave it, man. First of all, you're captain, Corey, of your lifetime.
This is hang on a minute. You haven't. This is the 2 surprise questions.
Well, yeah.
Nobody knows about.
I haven't got there yet, but he's answered one already. So I'm.
Well, all right, but you know. But this is 2 surprise questions that you weren't told about, and nobody gets told about.
No. But there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, Captain Supreme, it's literally Ledley King. The guy had one knee, hardly trained, and he always gave a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah.
As a defender, even with his injury, he was always at least 5-10 yards in front of his attacker when he was coming back to make that tackle, to see that player out of play, you know. So for me, he is captain number 1. He was one of the sole reasons why I'm a Spurs fan. The guy was everything and antithesis of why I loved Spurs as a kid. You know, I loved seeing Ledley King.
Yeah. Brilliant answer, mate. And if you can just follow up on your managerial answer there again, if you don't mind.
Martin Jol was a lovable guy, you know. He brought some of the feel-good back, didn't he? Then just after we had Martin Jol, we brought in Redknapp, and then, you know, the rest is history. Went from Redknapp to Poch down this to where we are now. So my top 3 managers are literally Martin Jol, Harry Redknapp, and Pochettino. But out of those 3, it's Martin Jol. And the way he was done dirty at Getafe still sticks in my mind and still leaves that nasty taste in your mouth, doesn't it?
He was the one. Martin Jol was the one he began to make us relevant again.
Yeah.
After years of being irrelevant, he got us back into the European competitions. I'm not sure if he was the first, but like on a regular basis, we'd qualify for Europe. He began to make us relevant again.
Yeah.
He made us more attractive as well to some of these players to come to us. It's like before Yol, there was just some piss poor management choices. There really was. Not a lot for you to say, yeah, I'm happy to be a Tottenham supporter because this guy's in charge.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've been the staunchest Ange out fan from day one.
Well, this isn't about that.
We get what you mean. That's fine. Anyway, we'd like to say thank you to you, Corey, for coming on. We do appreciate it. Please make sure everyone subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, hit the notification bell to make sure that you get the drop on this series when it comes out. Thanks so much, Corey, again for being here. That's another edition of the best Spurs 11 of our lifetime. We'll see you all again soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.